understand your trepidation about moving forward in the arts as a career.
I'd like to start the question. What were you doing when you were my age, 18?
Uh, that's an interesting question. Um, I also went through a variety of different moments of indetermination. So I actually went to four undergraduate colleges till I finally figured out what I wanted to do. I started off as a nuclear physicist at MIT. I left the country for a year and went to Israel. While I was in Israel, I did both English literature and kind of Hebrew literature. So within a 2 or 3 year span there, I had moved from nuclear physics to literature. When I told family and friends that I was going to be a photographer, I got a lot of kickback saying, there's no money in that, it's very difficult to be successful, you know, just like you suggested, you ought to be a doctor or a lawyer or something, sure there's a position. Um, I was recently, in the late 60s, I had recently become married, and my wife was remarkably supportive. So while her family and my family and other people in the world said you're crazy to go ahead and do this, um, uh, the person who was the closest to me and the most supportive said, this is something I know that you love, that you want to do, work at it and you'll find a way to be successful at it. It took many years for my own family to accept the fact that I hadn't gone into another kind of profession, but had gone into the arts. The favorite part of the job is that there is no favorite part, that every day it's something different. Um, Probably the most interesting thing is that no 2 days are the same. Every day there's something. I think each person defines these very major existential issues in different ways. I'm very project driven, and so that if I'm working on a particular project, what brings me happiness is being able to work through it, figure out how to make it come to fruition, either as an artist or as an administrator. If I have a project, I'm happy. Success in relationship to all that is that I did it, and at the end I feel that's pretty good. It's okay. Sometimes it's better than others. Sometimes I would have liked more time or have more input into something, but it's the fruition that is the interesting thing. And as the trite saying is about the journey is more important than the destination. It's working for the hours that it takes to pull something together that gives me the most satisfaction. Particularly in today's world, the more knowledge, information, experience that you bring to whatever you want to do, the richer and the experience will be, and perhaps the more successful you will be at it. When young photographers come to me and say essentially all I really want to do is photography, I don't discourage that, but I do encourage them to find other things that they're interested in that they can bring to it. Photography, after all, is very much about looking at the world and understanding what you're looking at. Try a lot of these different things that you're interested in. And if, let's say, photography and music are a particular interest, think of ways that they actually overlap. Our society is very much set up as a kind of consumer society, which also means that you can be, kind of just sit there and absorb things as opposed to be the person who's out there creating things. So the very fact that you're here is kind of proactive. You want to kind of reach out. You want to make things happen. You want to talk to people and get input, that could be turned into a kind of a direction that you take. Photography and music are both very much about communicating with other people, thoughts and feelings, and there may be some way to pull it together.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, well, you're very welcome. I wish you best of luck. So I would say that it's really important along the way, as you kind of develop your career, it's important to kind of seek out people that you feel you have some symbiotic relationship with, who you feel can be inspiring, and work with them. So I think it's fine to do photography on your own, but it's also could be really important to find a group of people or an instructor or a friend who is doing things that are kind of both interesting but will push you a bit. They tell you if you're going to play tennis or something, that you should always find somebody who's better than you to play with. That'll make your game better. It's the same, I think, particularly when you're beginning. Probably the thing, I had some really terrific, inspiring people along the way, but probably more than anything else in terms of photography, it was looking at lots of photographs. I just kind of ingested whatever I could find, books, magazines, films, anything that dealt with photography as a way to understand the world. Like any art form, there's millions of different styles and techniques. You want to find something ultimately that resonates with the kind of thing that you want to do. And particularly when you're beginning, there's nothing wrong with imitating. You find some things that you like, try to make them yourself. You should come by and show me some of your work. Okay?